are in one of my Facebook accounts. So you can see that I'm running some Facebook traffic to one of my products, and we've been getting some stuff going on, and all cool. But how do you actually set up what's called a lookalike audience? Now, first up, quick little thing on what a lookalike audience is. Lookalike audience is a group of people on Facebook that are very, very similar to your buyers, for instance, on Amazon. So if you can get all of the email addresses, for instance, of your buyers on Amazon, and you can do that, although you have to be kind of sneaky how you do it, then you could upload those people into Facebook and then create a campaign targeting your buyers to sell them more stuff. For instance, you could do that. Or you could upload your email addresses of your buyers on Amazon into Facebook and then tell Facebook to go and find heaps more people who are very, very similar to your buyers so you can market to them on Facebook. All right, so that's the big picture of what we're going to do. So to do that, what you want to do, Facebook, you want to come over to Audiences. It's under your Asset tab, Audiences. And I can show you two cool things here. I'm going to show you one that's going to be really, really advanced, and one that's going to be easy for you to do no matter where you're at. All right, so let's do that. Okay, so let's start with creating your audience. So dead easy to do that. Come here, create audience. Want to do a lookalike audience. And it's going to say source. Well, for our source, what we will use, there's a step before I should show you. Create audience, custom audience. And then I upload my customer file with all my email addresses on it, or with all of my mobile phone numbers on it. That will do it, okay? So either way, email addresses, mobile phones, upload my customer file. That will create what's called a custom audience. And then I come back to this page, create a lookalike audience, and then I just use the custom audience I've just created, set my location, Australia for instance, USA, wherever it may be, choose my audience size, which is how alike you want them to be. You always want to start with 1. Later on, once you've got 1 working, you can go to 2, get that working, go to 3, etc., etc. But you always start with 1. And then Facebook will simply create that audience for you. It will go out into the universe of all Facebook users and find people who are fundamentally similar to the people you've uploaded. All right, so that's the step 1. Easy version of how to do it. But let me show you something a little sexier too. Because most folks are not going to have the email addresses of their buyers on on Amazon. You're not going to get those unless you pay money to get them. You can get them, but it costs you money. It's called an email append, and usually it costs about 50 cents per email to get the email addresses of your buyers from Amazon. But there's a way that you can get some brilliant data from Facebook without having to go to all that expense of buying your email addresses. So let me show you that instead. So what you do is you run your Facebook ads to your product, like I've taught you for a launch. You run your Facebook ads using your coupon codes and things like that for your launch. Then once you've done your launch, here's the assumption that you make. Anybody that interacted with your advert on Facebook is a pretty good prospect for your product. Otherwise, they wouldn't have interacted with your advert on Facebook. So maybe they liked your page, they commented on your advert, or they clicked through to go and see what you were actually selling. So those people have put their hand in the air and said, hey, I am more interested than the majority. I've got an interest in what you're selling. Tell me more, okay? So what you can do is come back here, create a custom audience of people who engaged with your advert. So you just create a custom audience, call them engagers. Hello, Facebook engagers. That's me using this strategy. So you make a custom audience of people who've engaged with your product, and then you do exactly the same thing. You then make a lookalike audience of your engagers. So you've then got not only you've got Facebook going out and finding heaps more people for you who are likely to be very interested in what you're selling on Amazon. So that's 2 ways that you can use that strategy. Again, this is, if you're sitting there thinking to yourself, freaking hell, Neil, this is way out of my depth. This is all advanced stuff. It's the kind of stuff I do in my advanced inner circle. If it's above your head right now, don't worry. Stick to the plan. This all makes sense once you've done your launch, okay? It all makes sense once you've done your launch. All right, so let's have a look. Any questions about that before we move on? Christine, Neil, would you do this strategy on its own or do a separate launch for the pots also? That's the last one. I would definitely do, if it were me, I'd do separate launch. I'd do it separately. Michael, what's the minimum number of emails for Facebook? That is a really good question. I feel like it is 100, but I'm kind of plucking a figure out my arse. Here's the thing, Mike. What Facebook is going to do is they're going to take your email addresses and they're going to see if they can find, typically it's 100,000 other people who are similar to the people who own those email addresses. Now, if they can, you need less emails to create that universe of buyers, okay? And so the better the quality of Facebook user, meaning they've liked more things, they interact more on Facebook and things like that, the less emails you would need. Now, I know I have done it with 100, and that's been the least amount of email addresses I've used. But I also know that I've had 500 email addresses get rejected as not being enough. And so my assumption is it's based on the quality of the Facebook accounts that those email addresses are linked to. Obviously, people who are interacting more on Facebook, liking more pages, there's much more data for Facebook to go off, so they can build a custom audience or a lookalike audience much easier. That would be my assumption. Can we outsource these strategies? Yes, no doubt you absolutely can outsource these strategies, but you'd need to show them. Here's the thing with outsourcing. You've got to show them my stuff, because I can tell you with the utmost certainty, most people have not got a freaking clue about the stuff that we do in our inner circle on Amazon. It would just blow their minds. So you'd need to show them what we're doing. I guess that's the best way of saying it. Kate, what if you only have a list of mobile numbers? Does it work? Yes, it does. So Facebook, it's either mobile phone numbers, which is why, by the way, Facebook wants everybody to use Messenger, because that's how they get your mobile phone number. And if they don't have your Messenger, then they keep telling you to set up two-factor authentication because they want your mobile phone number. There's a lot of very good reasons why they want that, which will scare the bejesus out of you if you're into privacy. But anyway, yes, mobile phone numbers work, as do email addresses. They're equally as good as one another. Last question from Christy, then we're going to move on. Do people's privacy settings on Facebook have an impact on creating lookalike audiences? You would hope that they do, but they do not. So Facebook does some pretty scary stuff with your data. One of the many things they do is sell it all over the place. Amazon buys Facebook data all the time, which is why you should never ever have your friends on Facebook review your products on Amazon, because Amazon's buying that data and they will find out, and then you will get penalized in one way or another. So that's why we always say friends of friends to do those. But yeah, scary shit. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video, and I hope that you got some massive value from it. Before you go, do you live in Australia? If you do, this is for you. Would you like to learn how to sell things on Amazon here in Australia? Would you like to know what sells really, really well and what sells for the maximum amount of profit? Would you like to know where you can source those products from, whether that be in China or here in Australia, and how to source them so you pay bottom dollar and get maximum value for what you're doing? If you do, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and you'll learn that and much more. It's the exact same information that people like Jeff from New South Wales I've used to make $45,000 a month on Amazon, that Sue, who's from the sunny coast, has used to purchase herself a brand spankly BMW every single year as a result of her e-commerce business, and the lovely Kate from Bowral in New South Wales has used to make $32,000 a year on a month, not a year, a month on Amazon, and indeed Anthony, who makes $15,000 a month on Amazon, selling, as he puts it, odds and sods. If you'd like to learn the exact same information that they use to maximize their profits for their Amazon businesses, subscribe to this video, like my channel, post below if you want me to teach you something. Okay, I'm out of here. Speak to you soon. Bye. Subscribe. Do it now.